Hi guys, my name is Peter Lemos. I'm one of the owners, along with my wife Lauren, of Wax Paper here in Frogtown, corner of Knox and Blake. We opened up in 2015. It's been a quick 5 years, an incredibly quick 5 years, you can imagine. We've seen the development here in Frogtown. I would hesitate to say that it's been quick, but it's definitely, you know, I feel like when you're in it, when you're here every day, it's kind of hard to see the change. Like, you can't see the forest for the trees, but every time if you take a step out, you can see, you know, just new people, new businesses in the area. We've been here 5 years. You know, I remember, you know, Lauren and I, it was just a point in our careers where we wanted to take a risk and do something for ourselves, and we knew that we could do it, whatever it was. We believed in ourselves, and we worked in restaurants and hospitality our whole life. And so we really had a passion for it, and we just felt that there was a need for sort of a quick service lunch that was high quality food at an accessible price. You know, I really didn't see a lot of that. And, you know, Lauren and I we didn't know anything about business. But all we knew how to cook food, we knew how to serve people, that was it. Nothing about businesses, nothing about leases, nothing about anything, LLCs. We just went for it. We did it all. We did it all ourselves. And we just started Googling, just enter Google empty business space, Los Angeles. And, you know, there were places along Sunset that we looked at, places in Atwater, and it was just, they were fine. But kind of, there were more, I guess, more commercial, I guess, more just generic commercial. And then when we came here, we saw this space here on the corner, Knox and Blake. We didn't know anything about the neighborhood. You know, it's still very much in the middle of a city, but it's, you know, still, it's at that point, and it still is. It's just sort of this oasis, sort of maybe somewhat like the eye of the storm with the city around. And it just felt, I remember seeing it for the first time, and it was empty, and, you know, like this, none of this, you know, no landscaping was here. This building was still very, very raw. Art and VJ had just pretty much built the complex at that point. And there was just something about it. Lauren and I saw it for the first time, and we just looked and said, that's it. I could envision it. It's, you know, how it looks right now. Obviously it's a little different with COVID, but, you know, I envisioned people walking up to the front door. I envisioned people sitting on the patio, which is what we had prior to the pandemic. And it was one of those things where it just sort of, Lauren and I saw it, and it was just, that's exactly where we need to be. That's exactly where we want to be. And, you know, we signed a lease, and, you know, that was 5 years ago. And, you know, we've been started off small, and we've just grown. I think that's helped our standing in the neighborhood. Even 5 years ago, I think the neighborhood is probably more welcoming to business at this point. But 5 years ago, we just wanted to be small. We wanted to be out of the way. And that's sort of not what you want to do when you want to start a business. You want to be, hey, front and center, look at us, come, you know, try us out. But we just wanted to grow slow and grow naturally. And I think that's what we've done over the last 5 years. The neighbors have welcomed us fully. Our neighbor Jose, who lives up two houses down right here on Blake, we have a great relationship with him. He just brought us tamales the other day. He comes in for ice cream. Tracy and Alan are here. Again, a great relationship with them. Art and VJ, our landlords, are here. So it's this little, you know, this corner of Knox and Blake. There's really a ton that's happening here. Even though it feels a little sleepy, there's a lot of activity here. And, you know, just what I needed just opened up. There's El Capriccio Frogtown Pizzeria right here, sort of in the same complex as we are. So it's great to be sort of in this community right now in 2020. You know, we need it. We need the support of each other going through this pandemic. So that's what we've found here in Frogtown. Welcome to the back entrance of the tiny shop of Wax Paper. This is the back entrance here, through the door. You can see it's a tiny kitchen. Maybe we'll have you guys come inside for a little bit just to see how small it is. But we do a lot, and fortunately we've been pretty busy these last 5 years. The response from the community has been great to come out for our sandwiches. Sandwiches, salads, sides, lunchtime stuff. We have a very, we're only open 11 to 4. Within those 5 hours, sometimes we sell out. It's always best to get here early. So as you can tell, it's 11:15. We've been open for 15 minutes, but they're already cranking in there. They're already, you know, getting it going. Lauren and I started with the two of us for, you know, a year and a half, and it was just the two of us doing everything. We knew we were the business would grow. We had no idea what that would look like. And now 5 years later, we have employees, which we can't do this without. I never thought that I'd be, you know, a boss and I'd have employees working for us. It's an amazing thing that our crew comes every single day and are able to put out the quality of food that they do, and they really believe in it as much as Lauren and I. And we have 2 locations now. We have another location in Chinatown, which with a different menu and a different crew. So the growth of the business has been, you know, a little bit insane, but something that, you know, Lauren and I have the growth has been natural. I feel we haven't really rushed anything. So, you know, fortunately we do have such a great crew here that's able to, you know, and given the pandemic, we've been able to keep everybody distant, and we've been able to adapt. We were mostly to go anyway. We didn't have a big dining room. We didn't have a large staff. A lot of those things that other restaurants are unfortunately having to deal with right now. So the transition into, you know, we've just sort of been instead of having, you know, 10 people on the patio, we just have all to go now. So again, we feel extremely fortunate to be able to continue as we have in the pandemic. Sandwiches, salads, sides. Our sandwiches are named after public radio hosts. So we have the Ira Glass, the Terry Gross, Audie Cornish, Lakshmi Singh is a sandwich. And that was just another funny idea. It just, I think, speaks to the humor that Lauren and I want to include in the business. We take what we do very seriously, but, you know, we didn't want to just have a sandwich and say this is roast beef and cheddar or this is ham and Swiss. We wanted to have fun with it, and what better way to, you know, have fun with it than take these great public radio personalities who are, you know, dedicating their lives to journalism and telling stories that need to be told. And if we can make people more aware of their work, at the same time sort of giving a unique spin to what we do here, I think it was just kind of, you know, just something that just sort of, I don't know, made sense in a weird way for us. I remember KPCC reached out to us over Twitter. This was before we even opened, sometime in late 2015, after they got wind of how we were naming the sandwiches, and we said, oh great, this is it, we can't do this, they're gonna hate it, we gotta change the names, we can't do this. And KPCC, I don't know if it was John Horn, anyway, reached out and they loved it. They said, this is amazing, we'd love to be a part of it, you know, this is such a good idea, funny, like they got it. So it's just been one of those things that we've just sort of become known for as well, and something that we take a lot of pride in. You know, there wasn't a lot of thought into like which host gets which sandwich. It was kind of just, you know, we just sort of picked a host. When we opened Chinatown, there was a little bit more consideration into, say, for example, Hetty Lynn Hurdy's is a vegan, so we wanted to make sure that her sandwich was vegan, and she comes in and orders it in Chinatown. Larry Mantle is our Italian sandwich, which has bologna. Larry Mantle himself is not a bologna fan, so I think when he comes, he gets the Steve Julian. Kai Rizdal's been here. Kai Rizdal's our tuna sandwich. Again, not a big tuna guy, but he comes in, I think he gets the Steve Julian as well, which is a sandwich that we have here named after the late member of KPCC. So we feel really honored. He was the only sandwich that was sort of developed with his input into the ingredients. And we feel, you know, honored that we're able to have a sandwich named after him and continue to to sell it and support, you know, his memory and the legacy of KPCC that way.